A comment was left on a video of mine stating, I wish my players would roleplay for me. They roleplay for other GMs, but for me, all they do is go encounter to encounter. I took this as an invitation to come up with some ways to help GMs get the most out of their players during a D&D session, or a Pathfinder session, or really any TTRPG session. Before we get into that, though, let's get on the same page of what roleplay actually is. Most people getting into the fandom will watch Dimension 20 or Critical Role or any of the hundreds of other actual plays on YouTube, like the cursed ones, um, and assume that the acting that the professional voice actors and improv actors in those shows is what roleplay actually is. But in reality, roleplay is a lot different than that. And they all assume that's what roleplay is. And to be a good tabletop role player, you have to be just like the people on Critical Role or D20 or any of the other actual plays. You have to do the voice, the movements. You might even think you have to dress up.
Visage. Men, get ready to dance with swords.
And most of those people would be wrong. Matt Colville has a great video where he breaks down the differences between uppercase roleplay and lowercase roleplay. To sum it up, lowercase roleplay is the voices and the acting and talking in character, while uppercase roleplay is making decisions that your character would make, even if it's not the decisions that you would make. It's letting your characters grow and learn and form worldviews, even if it's not the same as the actual players. Not to say that lowercase roleplaying isn't fun and doesn't add value to the game, because it totally does. Having a table comfortable enough with each other to be a little bit silly is what this fandom is really all about. I assume that the person that left this comment is referring to the fact that his players don't lowercase roleplay. He stated that all they do when he GMs is go encounter to encounter. So that brings me to my very first tip. Give your players space. Now, let me explain, okay? Make sure you're not constantly pushing them from combat to combat. Let them drive the car every once in a while.
I want to drive myself into town and get it alone.
Give them time to talk to each other. Give them time to talk to NPCs or other characters and let them make choices when they go into town. If every time they travel, you roll random encounters and then you skip the rest of the trip, and then they have to be confronted by the city guard every time they enter a town, they might fall into a mind of constant vigilance.
We must remain vigilant.
Player characters need breathing space to grow, and that's where roleplay comes from. When they start a journey, ask them, what do they gather along the trip? Who they prefer to walk beside as they walk down the road. When they make camp, describe the scene, set it up, and ask them what they want in the camp. Ask them to describe what their tents look like, what type of equipment that they carry. Ask them to describe to you how they go about setting it up and who they set it up by, how close to the fire, maybe how close to the river. Do they set up their stuff in bushes and trees? Let them explain part of the scene to you. Then just set the scene. Tell them that they get everything set up and they go and they sit by the fire. It's not quite late enough to go to sleep, but they finally have some moments of peace. Or when they enter a town, describe the town as upbeat and happy and let them know that there are some service things that the town has. Let them make that choice. Let them know that there's some taverns. Maybe there's a bar. Maybe there's a concert going on. Maybe there's a fun hanging going on. Who knows? We don't constantly have to push the story at them. Moral issues are a great way to make your players uppercase roleplay. Say you have a light domain cleric in your party. You could put him in a situation where he has to choose between what his god would want or maybe saving an innocent life. You could place a treasure in a town that the rogue wants beyond all measure, but maybe that treasure belongs to the barbarian's tribe. How do they work that out? First, you got to start off in your session zero making sure your players are comfortable with dealing with these kinds of issues in character, and make sure you have your own safety checks, whatever that is for your party, in place before you hand these kind of moral conundrums, because they can really bring out a back and forth between your characters, but you have to make sure it stays within character and doesn't spread to in-person conflict in real life. This one is pretty short. If your players give you a backstory, ask them about it. Take places or people from their character's past and put them into your story. In our actual play, The Cursed Ones, I took the fact that my cleric's parents abandoned him and the fact that my barbarian's village was burnt down by a demon, all facts that they gave me in their backstories. to create a whole cult around this demon and make it a major subplot of the campaign. If you want to know how that worked out, you should go watch the Cursed One's actual play on our YouTube channel. Players want to feel part of the story, and what better way to do that than to write them into it? Finally, you got to make sure that your world is alive. Make the NPCs remember them. Have the plans of the BBEG move in the background. Make it to where there's some things that they can't actually stop. They just keep hearing rumors about what he's doing. Give them a choice and make it clear they can deal with one or the other, and the effects of the other will always take place. They can only stop one, and the other will still happen. Have the city guards remember them. Describe the NPCs aging as time goes on. Hell, maybe kill off an NPC in the background because of sickness.
He's dead?
Who knows? If the world moves around them, they will want to interact with it more. I hope this short video works. And remember, everyone has different levels of comfortability, and some might not be okay with lower or uppercase roleplay, and that's okay. This has been Curse 20s. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and roll well.